morning to our Southeast Asia leaders and good afternoon to our Pacific leaders. I hope all of you are doing very great today. Welcome to our digital product opportunity meeting, Prysm Our Opportunity, and thank you for taking your time to join us today. My name is Fion and I am the product marketing manager of Pharmanex at New Skin Southeast Asia Pacific. And I'm super excited to be back as the facilitators for today's session as we will discuss the greatest opportunity that Prysm.io will bring to all of us here. So in this meeting, we are especially pleased to invite our corporate speaker and two of our incredible sales leaders to join us and share their insights on Prysm.io opportunity. So you are here from Dr. Joseph Cheng, our chairman of New Skin Scientific Advisory Board, about the uniqueness and strengths of Prysm.io in the wellness industry and its competitive advantages. And you will also hear from two Southeast Asia and Pacific leaders who will share with you why it is so important to build your business with the Prysm.io and their views to fully leverage the Prysm to engage new customers and drive business growth. So as powered by our proprietary Spectra Ray technology and built from over 20 years of antioxidant research, Prysm.io provides you with the real-time insights into your nutritional status, and we will have Dr. Joe to tell you more and how. So all right, without further ado, I'm going to invite our first speaker for today. He is none other than our beloved Dr. Joseph Cheng, the chairman of New Skin Scientific Advisory Board. Let's give our warm virtual welcome to Dr. Joe. Hi, Dr. Joe.
Oh, hi,
Hello,
Fionn.
how are you doing?
Yeah, great. And I know there's lots of people on this call tonight. It's great. Or maybe it's your morning, a little bit in the afternoon over in down under in Australia. So you guys are all wide awake. I'm fast fading into slumberland, but never mind. It's exciting right now having everybody here. You know, it's sort of interesting. Before I start telling you about the Prysm, I think what the Prysm has done, in my mind, is essentially put New Skin as a company and as a business with all of you at the crossroads. All of you, if you don't see or appreciate the fundamental importance or the role that this new Prysm scanner can play in growing the business, then I think we would have wasted this opportunity for everybody. All right. And this session is really critically important because all of you, I believe, if I'm not wrong, are really brand representatives and up, right? So for you, it's more than just about a new product. It's really sort of looking at New Skin as an opportunity. I'm often reminded that New Skin doesn't exist if you guys don't exist and you don't really go out and grow your business. It's that simple. And I think in the Prysm scanner, we have developed a really important tool for all of you to be able to penetrate markets and to be able to tell the New Skin nutrition story to far more people than previously been possible. I'll tell you a story, and this is probably pretty important. When we all look at the pyramids, and I don't really think whether you are Indonesia or whether you're Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, or whatever, everybody looks at those pyramids and we know what they are and who built them and so on, right, in Egypt. And you also look at the pyramids and you start seeing little figures being on the walls of those pyramids. And the collection of them, you would imagine, you say, oh, those are just funny paintings those old ancient Egyptians drew on their pyramids. But very soon, we, or at least archaeologists and people were beginning to realize that those hieroglyphics, that's what they're called, was a language used by the Egyptians to describe their lives. To us, we couldn't understand it. To us, it was just funny looking figures on the walls of the pyramids. It wasn't until about 150 to 170 years ago when Napoleon, during his war in Africa, in Egypt particularly, that he found a particular stone. And on that stone was written part of it in hieroglyphics. And incredibly enough, there were two other languages that we, the modern people, could understand, and that was ancient Greek and modern Greek. That's how we learned how the hieroglyphics became, and we became to understand what the Egyptian or the Egyptian civilization was all about more than 5,000 years ago. And that's what we have with the scanner over the last, we have the scanner over the 20 years. You saw that that movie, right? And S1 and so on and so forth. And all we were saying at that point in time was it measures the antioxidant status in the body. Great. But ask yourself, it's almost like hieroglyphics for most people. What exactly is an antioxidant? And so on and so on. Many of you who have been with Nu Skin long enough, frankly, I would claim it took me 20 years, or it took all our scientists 20 years to get all of you to understand the importance of antioxidants. I think we have reached a stage now with the Prysm, because of the 20 years of data that we had obtained from the S1, S2, S3, and so on, from that antioxidant level, plus other things that you may not realize we had been collecting from those individuals, that together it gave us a database. All right. And from that database, with the advent of artificial intelligence, we were able to develop an algorithm to understand what that antioxidant level is all about. It still is the antioxidant we're measuring, but now we understand what it says and what it is telling us. And I'll show you, I guess I have to share some slides with you, right? If I can I share? Yes. All right, let me see whether, I think I can share it with you, right? You can see it.
Dr. Joe, the slide is
Yeah.
not in the presentation mode, it's in the PowerPoint. So yeah, you have to put it under slideshow.
Okay, slideshow, can you see it?
Not yet, hold on.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can
Okay,
see.
right, you can see
Right.
it. So,
Yeah.
all right. So with that as a background, right? And I've always looked at Nu Skin for all of you as an opportunity. And what does it really mean from the product perspective? Back in 1984, this was almost 40 years ago, it was about personal care in 1984. And the story is, or was, all of the good, none of the bad. That's really what it was. No matter what it is we talk about, it boils down to the fact that we always wanted all of the good, but we always leave out the contaminants. Okay? In 1992, Pharmanex came along, and we sort of had nutritional products introduced as well. But Pharmanex came along in 2002, maybe actually earlier than that, before 1998. I think they got the date wrong there. In 1998, that's when we had science-based products. That's the story. That was your opportunity. That's why Nu Skin acquired Pharmanex in 1998 to give you those science-based nutritional products so that we have the ability to substantiate all the claims or benefits behind each product. That's why we have the success process. Many of you, I know you're telling the success process, right? So you really understood what that was all about. In 2002, we show you the biophotonic scanner, and that was the first time, right? Okay, everybody talks, and everybody has nutritional products, frankly, but the problem is, how do you know they work? You don't really, I mean, that's one of the biggest challenges that we had with nutritional product is the fact that you cannot see, unlike skincare products, the benefits. So you keep on asking yourself, does it really work for me? I bet you that was sometimes one of those kinds of responses that you have experienced, right? When you talk to people. Well, with the biophotonic scanner, you don't have to. You can actually see before and after with the products. And then we came out around that year some beauty devices as well. So for all intents and purposes, each and every one of these platforms, as we call them, these are the ones that boost the new skin opportunity. And then we have ageLOC. In Southeast Asia, I don't have to really talk much about ageLOC. It has been the fulcrum. It has been the anchor, that you use to build the new skin opportunity business, right? Because we were the first company actually have been able on the gene expression side, on the genetics, to be able to address the sources of aging rather than just symptoms of aging. That's how meaningful and powerful those ageLOC products are. And that includes TRME. There's no doubt about it, right? And then we have the connected beauty devices now. For those of you who have a greater passion for skin, we have the LumiSpa, we have the Galvanic Spa, and we have so many of these devices, so much so that we are now the #1 beauty device system company in the world. I sort of almost consider these as the 5 smooth stones that we have developed over the last 40 years in our skin. What 5 smooth stones? 5 smooth stones is a biblical story from the Old Testament where one of those smooth stones was used by David to bring down Goliath. All right. But what you sometimes forget is that David had in his little leather pouch 4 other smooth stones. Why did he had to keep another 4 additional stones in the pouch? That's because he knew, and many of us who remember the David and Goliath story, we didn't remember that Goliath has 4 other brothers, and they might come and try to take down David's tribe. So he has to be prepared. And we have been preparing. So that's why I call them, these are our 5 smooth stones of opportunity. And now we're doing a little bit better than David. We're bringing out the 6th smooth stone. And this is about the Prysm IO. You're going to hear a lot about it. It's like I said, we are at a threshold. We are at a point of inflection that if you take this in your hands and you can actually become David, we're going to bring down everything in the competition, in the competitive field. No question about it. No ifs and buts. I really believe the Prysm is the beginning of another era in new skin as far as the opportunity is concerned. All right. And this is a revolution because now, yes, we still remember. Yes. I mean, I hear it all the time. Oh, yeah. You're still measuring antioxidant. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. The hieroglyphics has been on the pyramids for the last 5,000 years. Why suddenly they became important? Well, it became important because we finally understood what it meant. Same thing here. We finally now, in Nu Skin, after more than 20 years of data collection, we are finally able to link the antioxidant level that we can measure with the Prysm to now mean the level of your nutrition wellness. That's the great leap forward. All right. That's the translation that we did. Nobody can do that translation. Yes, there might be still some antioxidant measurement devices out there and so on, but without the database that we created over the last 20 years, over more than 20 years, they can't do what we do with the Prysm IO. All right. And these antioxidants, as you put it in here, it covers the whole base. Now it's nutritional status. All right. Take that antioxidant out, put nutrition status, it covers all the different type of products we have in Nu Skin. So in a way, from your business perspective, I don't really care which product that you are really passionate about. Insofar, I totally appreciate the fact that not all of us are passionate about a particular product, right? Our sort of passion could be different. It doesn't matter. The Prysm is so inclusive that it can be incorporated into your business narrative with very little problem, regardless of the product that you use. Because each and every one, the benefit of those products will get better because your nutritional level or status in your body gets better. See, it's like an umbrella, right? So when I look at AS3, the movie was great, the beginning video, right? And all that. And here we have the puck. And everybody, me included, is fascinating. We've been able to get a puck size, a portable version, 15 seconds and so on. We can measure these substances called carotenoids in the skin and so on. But I'm hoping you can appreciate up to this point that it is very different from the previous scanner. We have already been successful with the previous scanner. We should be even more successful with the Prysm because it's measuring, it's giving out a way more meaningful outcome. You can ask a person the question, gee, would you like to know about your nutritional status? Isn't that a better question than say, gee, do you really want to know about your antioxidant level? Frankly, unless that person is a scientist or a technical person, it takes a lot of explanation. Nutrition status, I can bet you every single person would be interested, right? So, and you take it in 15 seconds, you can measure it, and you have all the attributes that that the previous scanner has. And now you have it in 15 seconds, and it's really, we have translated the so-called carotenoid levels to be a very important biomarker of nutrition. All right. So, and I can go into a lot of the science, but for now, just remember, this is how we combine artificial intelligence, our database, and our new light technology all into something that we call the Prysm IO. All right. Frankly, when you talk about artificial intelligence, that's a buzzword everybody uses now to describe how great it is. But do they really understand? In order to do artificial intelligence, you got to train the computer with data. If there is no data, you cannot train. Or you cannot even actually attempt AI. All right. It's not spontaneously like the computer gets clever. It got to be trained. And that's where our proprietary position is that 25 years worth of data. You know, artificial intelligence is no different from who we are compared to the human brain. Look, all of us got sort of, we were born with a brain, right? How come we're not instantly clever? Have you asked yourself that? How come we have to go to school? Why? Because we had to go to school to get data to train our brain. Except we now call it education. But for intents and purposes, it's the same thing here. The light technology is great because it's very versatile. And this is a new kind of light technology that will allow us to measure other markers in the future as we move along. And these are the five lights, wavelengths, if you will, orange, light blue, green, red, and purple, if you will. And all these are different wavelengths. And our Prism IO could be used in the future to go and measure other equally important markers and be able to incorporate it with what we're measuring now. So what you're seeing right now with the Prism IO is really a tip of the iceberg, and there are lots of other future things we can come up with. So validation, right? So Chi, I have this sort of question or criticism. Oh, well, yeah. Can you develop this scanner just to make all your products look good, right? It's really a new skin product scanner. No. And we have done a lot of studies that if you really eat well, you're going to score high. All right? So there's no doubt it is really independently objective and really reflects the nutrition level or how well you eat. You can do that. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, only way you can achieve better results is with new skin products. You can, but the thing is, nutrition is the one that tells us that is an objective measurement. And all these things about dietary habits and so on, I won't go into it, but this is what I've been talking about, right? If your body composition, in other words, if you're somewhat high in your BMI, your score is going to be low because we know your nutrition is not very good, right? If you don't exercise and so on, and you're living in a very high stress level, your score is going to go down too, all other things being equal, and so on. Okay? So, and we've coded this in the colors so that it could be easily understood. So, and here's a good example, especially for this particular audience, you would appreciate because TRME is a wonderful system you've been using a lot, right? So all things other being equal, body weight or high fat body composition is all about you getting into a situation or into a condition that has high stress, chronic inflammation, and so on that will drive your score down, or you and really tells you, hey, your nutritional level is not going to be terribly optimal, right? And this is just a study to show us the less weight you have, the better your score. All other things being equal, all right. So, and these are some of the products we have, so identifying a problem without a solution sometimes can be actually disconcerting, if you will. Why do I want to know a problem if I can't solve it? Well, you can with many of the Pharmex products and New Skin products. So you can do that, and yeah, Life Pack. Particularly, we can show really nice improvement within a period. As soon as about after 6 weeks, I think you can start seeing an improvement in your nutrition score, if you will. And this is just to show you some of the science we've done. Lots of studies we're going to be published on the Prism IO, and this will validate what we have. Okay, we're working with universities. They're very excited all around the world, and they'll be using our device to measure things. The engineering is exclusive, and importantly, is going to be very consistent in terms of giving you a value, and it's 15 seconds. But remember, this is a means to an end, right? Fundamentally, if you truly want to come back to the opportunity, the growth is not to just scan people, but actually to get them to take action. And by taking action means to get on a new skin product or whatever, right? And be able to help them see the progress if they consume that product on a regular basis. So yeah, it's all the things that we have. And I think, frankly, there are other machines that are available that say they measure antioxidant, and they are, but they just cannot do, they take the extra step in translation. All right. And these are all just the different things we do. I'll talk about the solution. Oh, and by the way, you can Bluetooth it and connect it, pair it with your phone, your smartphone, and be able to give you also an additional reading of the score with a number. So in addition to the color, you get the number as well. So I've given you a lot of information within these last 20 minutes or so. Think about what I just said, right? Think about the great leap that we have taken into nutrition. This is your before and after, if you will, if you're from the skin world, right? This is your before and after in the nutrition world. You can now see the benefits you can get by using a product, right? So that will lead to all sorts of other things and so on as well, because it's more convincing when somebody can see something rather than just have to believe you. And it is a measurement of something that there are very few people who would not be interested in knowing their nutrition level. I think that's what I would say, and I better stop here and sort of give the time back to Graham and Willing and Fionn. Fionn?
Thank you so much, Dr. Joe. It's always so insightful to listen from you, especially the analogy that you made at the beginning of your presentations, right? So after listening
Okay.
to Dr. Joe, I believe all our leaders here agree that Prysm is not just a tool for our leaders to know about our nutritional status, but at the same time, it is a business tool that assists you in recommending our SCS product and of course the TRME products, right? So thank you so much, Dr. Joe, for your time with us today. We hope that we can listen more from you. Thank you, Dr. Joe. So up next, I'd like to hand over the time to my colleagues, Adrian from Regional Sales Team, to facilitate the business sharing session. So Adrian, over to you.
Hey, Fionn. Thank you very
Thanks.
much for that.
Thank you,
And Joe,
Adrian.
once again, thank you, Fionn. And Joe, thank you. It's always a pleasure to hear from Joe. And I think all the leaders will agree. Every time we hear from Joe, I know we know him as a scientist, but I think it always feels like he's an entrepreneur and businessman with a lab coat more than anything, right? Joe's exceptional, and he's always exceptional at how he's able to blend high science and business and make it so easy for us to understand, right? Without a PhD or an MBA, right? And what he has just shared essentially is how transformational this opportunity Prism.io represents for us, right? Thank you, Joe. Once again, we really appreciate you. So
My
now,
pleasure.
let's move from higher science and innovation to what this translates to as an opportunity to transform our business, right? To transform how all of you will grow your organization. And this is really a tipping point in nutritional wellness and innovation if you've been really listening to what Joe is sharing. And to do that, we have two speakers, and we're very honored to have with us today to share their excitement, to share their insights, and their future vision of what Prism.io can do for us and where Prism.io can take us. Now, our first speaker hails from Malaysia, and honestly is one of the most generous individuals who is never selfish with his time when sharing his experience, when sharing his insights with all of us, right? A trained engineer who left the corporate world to embark on a less conventional path to entrepreneurship, no less. The Nu Skin opportunity opened many doors for Willing, right? And today, as a successful leader in every right, he gives back by spending his time to mentor and empower others, helping them to achieve the success that they deserve through our opportunity platform. So ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker, if you would please, Circle of Excellence 1 4-year Platinum Elite and 10-year Team Elite, Mr. Willing Tan. Willing, over to you.
Hi, everybody. How are you? How is Southeast Asia PAC, CPAC? How are you? First of all, thank you so much, Adrian. And hi, Graham. And thank you, Dr. Joe, for sharing. Um, I'm a bit nervous to be among such amazing leaders here today and listening to really awesome technology from Joe. It really is amazing. Are you guys very lucky? You guys should be, please give Nu Skin a round of applause because, they've, really gone out and really lived their mission and vision to transform the world. Right. So anyway, a bit about myself. I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin with a mechanical degree. I left that and went straight to work for Motorola, and was there about 13 years. And then during those years, I was introduced to this business by my sister-in-law. And at first, the reason we want to do this was because I wanted to find a platform for Casey to become a hands-on mom. Because at that time, my daughter Jay, first one, was about 3 years old, and like most moms, we want to spend time. The other thing is my parents are aging at 60 and 70, and I said, hey, I wanted to find more time to spend with them. I didn't want to wait until I retire, and so this kind of worked in. However, I did see the opportunity of this business because the anti-aging market is just tremendous at that time, and it's only getting bigger and bigger as we understand it. The business model was made sense to me. It was simple. There was no capital or no risk or none of these things that in traditional businesses that we have. And it was really cool. And I think the last thing I want to say is that the the business model, what really attracted me really was the business plan, the 5%, 6 levels, and being able to pay 40% of revenue to all of us here is just amazing. So we should be very, very lucky. I want to go back and talk about how I joined, because the time when I joined about 20 years ago feels like yesterday, because when I joined, we were opening in a China market. And guess what? We were also launching the first biophotonic scanner. Fast forward till today, what's happening? Same thing, isn't it? We're opening India and we're launching the next generation Prysm IO. So it's just like a repeat. And you guys are coming in, and if not, are really in for an amazing, amazing journey um, as we move along. And of course, with Prysm IO. I want to talk about 5 things about Prysm IO, and which I think probably you may have heard of before. And the thing about our business is that, hearing it once won't do, hearing it twice won't work, hearing it 3 times will just, you forget it. We need to hear it multiple times, and really instill that into us. So, we have a saying, if you haven't heard it 21 times, you haven't heard it before. So let's go. The first thing I want to say is that the market is bigger than I had thought it was, right? When I first joined, it was $1 trillion. Now it's 9 trillion in the next 3 years. That's just huge. How do you comprehend 9 trillion? So the market demand for wellness is high. Write that down. Second thing I want to say is that, given that there's a bigger market, there's also going to be a bigger challenge. And the bigger challenge is this. The challenge is, and I just want to tell a story, because when we first launched the biophotonic scanner, I always remember this. Our late Nathan Ricks said this. He was a CEO, COE4. And he said that when the biophotonic was developed, he said, when he was first invited, I believe, to University of Utah to scan with the laboratory devices, he said, although he has been selling supplements for 8 years at that time, he says he could never tell his customers whether what he sold actually worked. That's 22 years ago, that story. And that, with today's demand, that question still exists. If not, even greater, that question exists. People don't know if what they're spending is working, and how much money they put in is actually working in their body. Still today, nobody knows. It's just a fraction of people who is aware. So number two is there's a big problem out there, and our job is to solve that problem, right? Number three, I think Dr. Joe is really brilliant. The whole team is brilliant. They just not only gave us a tool, a thing, they gave us a business tool. And I want to say the third thing is it is a business tool. Okay, it's not just for us to measure. It's not like a Samsung watch for consumers to use. No, this is a business tool for you, for business leaders. And why? Why? Because it's patented, it's exclusive. Only business builders have access to this device. Okay, no one else. All right, and that should tell you your position in this whole marketplace. It's only you can do this, can share, can measure. The fourth thing I want to say is this, in doing new skin for so many years, one of the challenges that we all face really is how to talk about new skin. What do I say? Isn't it? Is that something that you guys face? What to say, how to say? True? If it's true, give me one. Because, we just didn't happen here. Some of us are very, very experienced. And the thing is how to say. So number four, I want to say is the fourth point, which is very important. It's a fantastic conversation starter. It's a fantastic. The other day, I had my friend come over to visit. It was not about new skin. They just came over, visit my kids, and we're just talking. And what did I do? I just took the beta unit that I had, and I just took it out there. And the first thing they said was, "What's that? What's that?" I didn't even say, "Would you like to measure?" I said, "What's that?" They'll say, "What's that?" Isn't that a powerful conversation starter that you can bring around with you? It answers all our problems, isn't it? Right? So number four is that. Now, of course, we're all business people and we don't just talk about things. We want to see results, isn't it? So are there results with scanning? And we've said this many times. It doesn't matter. We'll just talk about it again. I'm sure there's a slide here that it says the scanner and the ability to scan produces 60%, almost 60% more GV than if you don't scan. I hope everybody understands how important this is. In a world, in an economy where we are like, going out there and really fighting for volumes and really sharing with people and selling products and all that kind of stuff, isn't it awesome that if you just have a scanner, your average volume increases by 60%? That's just crazy, isn't it? And then the question you'd be saying is, well, man, how can I get mine? I should be scanning more people. True, you are. And of course, there are some challenges with the existing scanner. We can make more, right? And it's not that readily available, right? So you see how powerful this is. So we have a demand, we have a problem we need to solve, we have a tool that only you have, we have a conversation starter, and then we have solid results, right? This is just awesome. So give yourself a round of applause. Thank you so much. So I just want to end with a couple of things, guys, you like me, we don't need to show this slide anymore. You like me, we pray for help, right? Don't we? I wish, I got this, you pray for universe, you go for trainings, you read books, you read audio, you look for leaders, you ask questions, how can I succeed? Don't we? We do, don't we? Even we do. How can I do this? How can I help? How can I help my team? How can I grow? How can I be successful? We ask these questions every day. And sometimes this is the answer. This is the answer all along. You may say, but Willie, we've had this 20 years ago. Yes, we did, But the thing is, this is different. Why is it different? It's so tiny. It fits in your pocket. So that's a total game changer. So forget about S3. It's great. Today, it's a new story. Today, it's like day one. And the reason I'm wearing red today, I chose many colors. The reason I'm wearing red today, because I'm just like you. We're all going to start from red. We're all going to start from, hey, poor health, whatever, right? And we're just going to, all of you, me and you, we're all red, right? And we're all going to get purple. We're all going to get purple, right? So this is day one for everybody, you and me. And then you'll say, but Willing, it measures the same thing. Yeah, yes, it does. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. I just had a short chat together with Graham and Joe, and I was like, wow, there's stuff that this will be measuring that is coming in the pipeline that I didn't even know until just 30 minutes ago. guys, right? So this is just the tip of the iceberg. And New Skin is not just going to do that for antioxidants. They're going to do much, much more. Okay, let's please give New Skin a round of applause, really. You know, and this is just thing. So I just want to add with one thing. I kind of said too much, but have I said too much? But anyway, last thing. What's next? Yeah, what's next? Get yours. Get yours. You're not gonna borrow from me. You're gonna get yours, right? Everybody has to get yours. You can't say, oh, wait a minute, let me go get it from my upline, and then I'll come to see you. That time is over, guys. You just have to get it. Just remember the size, the portability, the accessibility is so much greater, like 100 times. Not just the size is 100 times smaller, but the portability of it is 100 times more. Okay, so it's not just smaller, but the portability is 100 times more. And guys, speed is energy these days, right? Speed is energy. Yeah. And energy is money. Energy is money. And in this time, in this economy, we have to help even more people make money. We have to help even more people transform their lives, not just with the products, but with the opportunity that this gives. This is the key. And this is everything that we've asked for in a small little device that you can put in a pocket and you can transform lives in 15 seconds. Guys, you and me, let's go do this. Let's scan the world. Thank you so much, Adrian. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the leaders. Appreciate it.
Willing, thank you so much. Thank you for your message. And truly, right, I love it when Willing almost ended with, this is day one. I really feel the excitement, and I think we all agree, this is really day one. If you think back perhaps to that very first Pharmanex product, to that very first ageLOC product, there's so much more to come in future. Thank you, Willing, for that message, and we're truly grateful. Okay?
My pleasure.
And well, that brings us to our final speaker for today, and he joins us from our Pacific family. I'm pretty sure he'll give most, if not everyone in this call, a run for their money if you count the number of years it's been associated with Nu Skin and the Nu Skin business, maybe except Joe, right? It's an impressive 34 years, right? It's amazing. And Graham is one of the founding distributors in the Pacific region. And when the S1 scanner first launched over 20 years ago, and in that part of the world, he was instrumental in partnering with the company to build and define our scanner strategy. So today, it's almost like we've come full circle, right? With him driving excitement around the latest iteration of this game-changing device. And it's our pleasure to have him join us. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Circle of Excellence 3, 2-year Platinum Elite and 17-year Team Elite, Mr. Graham Park. Graham, over to you.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Wow. How do I follow Willing and Joe? I had the great pleasure of meeting Willing in a few weeks ago, actually, on the island of Rhodes in the Mediterranean. What an amazing place to meet. And then we're back on here. My background, as you've said, is quite a while ago. I partnered with Nu Skin as a distributor because I saw it as a business that could free up our family to pursue things we wanted to pursue, to give us a future. I didn't have huge college degrees and professional background, and so I really was looking for a business and got involved in a business. And as Adrian says, very excited 20 plus years ago when the original scanner came out, and we had lots of them. And it's an amazing tool to be able to measure, because as Willing said about Nathan Ricks, who was the distributor who effectively bought the scanner to Nu Skin, no one really knew before then if the supplements were working or not. And most people still don't. And that's the incredible thing. People spend all this money. I saw some figures the other day, 47% of Australians paying money out for supplements. I saw another one for India, says 69% of Indians are paying money out for supplements. And people just really don't know if they're working or not. And here we've got a way to take that. Now, we've had a way, but it hasn't been particularly well adapted for our business model. And it was very limited. And we couldn't take it to the masses. As good as it was, we couldn't take it to the masses. And now we have something that we can buy, we can own as a business tool that's like, for a few $100s, you're going to have a business tool that you can take anywhere, anytime, anywhere on the planet that we're open and use to build a business. And that slide that Willing showed that shows people who use the scanner were generating 60% or roughly 60% more circle group volume than those that weren't. That ought to burn in some of our brains. We're talking to brand reps that are above here. That's a really important figure. I hadn't seen that and heard it until just now. So it's really, really big. The whole wellness thing, 1 trillion of just a few years ago, going to 9 trillion. It's currently at 3 or 4, going to 9 trillion in the next few years. Stop and think the size of this. We've got the products are in place. Now we've got the tool to take to the masses. And when you take something to the masses in a big way, we've got the potential to double the size of the Southeast Asia Pacific markets over just the next couple of years by doing this. And I say that and people say, oh, don't exaggerate. It's not an exaggeration if you think what we could do. Look what that chart said about the difference in the volumes and things. You think what you could do with this when you can take it out. And I've had the exact same experience with Willing when I had the beta test model, and I actually borrowed one to have with me here, and I'll show you something in a minute. But had the beta test model, and I've taken it out in a couple of family events, and people just want to, what is it? What can I do? And they actually get competitive. And you see them competing. I went into a friend of mine's business and he has over 20 employees. And he asked me, what are you doing? And I pulled it out of my pocket and showed it. I eventually shut down his business. He was complaining because all his staff, all they wanted to do was get measured. They were competing like crazy. Now, imagine putting that, when you put that in the hands of your business, because one of the hardest things in this business is getting people to open up, start that conversation, and what are you doing? And it's exciting. And it's not just exciting about them buying some Life Pack or some Youth or Widespan and things like that. It's not that. It's a brand rep creation tool. This is a tool that you can go out, you can take out to the masses and get yourself creating lots of brand reps, because this business it's a leadership business. It's a leadership development business where your job is to go out and create a brand rep factory. And the more brand reps you can develop and work with successfully and get them successful, the more rewarded you're going to be, the more rewarded they're going to be, and the more people they're going to help with the products. You get some people, I just want to help people with the products. Well, guess what? You know what the biggest way to help people with the products is? Get lots more people on your team so they can get out there and do that. It's a brand rep creation tool. And for at least the initial, probably first year, you're going to only be able to get one if you're a brand rep. So start thinking now. Start thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to get it as soon as it comes out. I'm going to get it, use it in my group, everything else. Here's something else in there. As we take this to the mass market, you want to go back and remember a real basic about this industry. You need to be a product of the products. What's that mean? You need to use the products. We don't spend a fortune on advertising, but you need to be a product of the products. Now, with the skin products, obviously that's, using them and everything else, but it's also with the supplements. And I'll give you examples of how the scanner helped me and my health. When the scanner came out, I was about 140 kilos. Okay. I'm about 91 or something at the moment. I was 140 kilos, roughly. And I scored pretty low. I took all the supplements. I was great at being a product of the products. And yet I was scoring down around 25, 30,000 all the time. And I thought, oh, I should be scoring higher. I take everything, all that. Then I went and I focused and I lost the weight. And strangely, I decided to lose the weight when I was in Jakarta at the opening of our Indonesian market, because one of the people in the audience got up after my talk and said, how can you talk about health when you're fat, fat, fat? And it was pretty embarrassing, right? I mean, I'm hanging my head and, I was all embarrassed because she was right. And that week, I started, and anyway, I lost a lot of weight. But you know what happened? In the 6 months after losing that weight, took about 6, 7 months to lose it all. That's a lot of weight to lose, 50 kilos. Losing all that weight, my score went up to about 80,000. And now it continues to go up. So I want to show you something. I'm going to turn this little thing on. And here it is. Is it going? Yes. So I'll put my finger on it. And we'll do a scan. We'll do the 15 seconds that can change your life right here. And let's see if I really am a product of the products. Maybe I don't actually take all those products. Oh, I don't know if you can see, but guess which bar is flashing? That's the highest it can go. Now I'm 69. I'll be 70 in about 8 or 9 months. It's not age related, obviously. But you know what? When I go out and do that and I scan people, pretty much everyone scans less. And you know what? They say, how can I get my score up? Now, think about this. In the time before you get your Prysm next, either in September or October, if you qualify for one then, or in February or so when we start releasing them to brand reps, you want to get your nutritional score up now so that when you're out with this, you score well. Because how's it going to look if you take one of these out and you score in the red down at the bottom? They're going to say, wow, those products must not be very good, right? That's what they're going to think. So you want to get your score up. So get out there now and start taking the youth, start taking the life pack, start taking, if you're in Australia, Weissband. We have different names for stuff for some regulatory reason, but it's the same product. So get out there and take it. Look after yourself. If you do need to go on TME or something, lose a little bit of weight, now's the time, because it's going to help you with the opportunity, because how much more credibility do you have? And they want to copy you. And that gets really exciting. It's a product of the product thing. Think about that too. What if you got 10 brand reps in your group, or 100 brand reps, or 1,000 brand reps, and they all start improving their health? They're all going to start also consuming more Pharmanex, improving their health, improving their scores, which is going to help build the whole business. It's a brand rep creation tool that has the ability to change the health, the nutritional health of the world. And I really want to thank Joe. I want to thank everyone involved in this project of doing it. And I thank Willing for showing me some things that I really didn't know about or learn until right on this call. Absolutely fantastic. But now's the time. Get prepared. If you're not taking a lot of Pharmanex, focus on that. Get your health there where you are. But think about this. Oh, I just do skincare. No, widen your market. There's a lot of people out there who are interested. You're also going to start to bring a lot more men back into the business, because it's going to have a wider effect. I can't tell you how excited I've been. I've been going around Eastern Australia doing road trips all over the place, road shows with it, because this is the most exciting thing Nu Skin's done in a long time. And when you tack India into that as well, and the potential growth from that market, and the fact we'll be taking Prysm in there on day one, oh my goodness. I can't fathom how big the opportunity is. It's sort of, I woke up this morning about 2:30 and I just started thinking about it. I couldn't sleep for thinking about this Prysm thing. It's incredible. The change. Anyway, I get off the subject. I'm sorry I talked too long. Thank you so much for inviting me on. Amazing time to be in New Skin. As my old friend Nathan Ricks would have said, you're in the right place at the right time right now.
Thank you very, very much, Graham. Thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure you can hear Graham's excitement. And just 2 weeks ago, when we were on a call with Graham and Willing, and we were just briefing them, Graham jokingly mentioned there are not that many things that get me out of the bed or out of my chair, but Prysm is one of them. And he's way out there, right? He's way out there. Thank you so much, Graham. You've probably got a lot of people very envious, not just of your Prysm score, but the fact that you're holding that device right there. And thank you so much for sharing your score. And that nicely segues me into the next just short couple of minutes, borrowing and quoting Willing. You're going to get your own. I'm not going to lend you yours, right? So let's talk about how you're going to qualify and get your own Prysm IO device, right? So everyone's probably pretty familiar with this qualification program they've been running since February and March. This is in Southeast Asia. We're into the 6th month of it now. It's straightforward, and we've had a lot of winners. I'm going to show you that in a bit. Creating a new brand representatives, growing your business, doing exactly what you do day to day is going to help you earn points. And at 25 points, you qualify for an allotment, right? And over in our markets, we're on the sales performance plan Philippines, as well as in Pacific, right? It's a similar qualification. If we could have the slide advanced, please. Right, it's a similar qualification, right? And you basically qualify, right, by creating star BRs, right? You basically qualify by creating star brand representatives, and you also earn points for a leaderboard, right? So not sure if the slides are not advancing on my side, but it's all good. Yeah, so we'll move. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, and this is the one on Pacific and the Philippines, right? So, all right, what are you qualifying for? We've been talking about it. We said, yeah, you're gonna get a Prysm IO when we first launched this. But some of you may have already heard, this is not just any Prysm IO you're getting, right? You'll be actually qualifying for the limited edition, right? Prysm IO. Let's take a quick look at the next slide for what it is, right? This is, the purple zone is where everybody wants to get to, right? And this is a limited edition release. Purple, Prysm IO, right? And rightfully so for all our early adopters, all the leaders who started qualifying in February and March, you will be getting yourself a limited edition Prysm IO. Sometime as we wrap up this qualification next month in September, you'll be able to purchase this in Q4, right? And speaking of qualifiers, we want to take this opportunity to also recognize, right? We're about 5, almost 6 months into this qualification. All of the individuals who have already won and have qualified for their allotment, right? Congratulations to all of you here, Southeast Asia, for achieving 25 points and above. For the Philippines and Pacific, the winners here are among their top qualifiers in their respective market leaderboard. Continue to run, right? Continue to encourage team members who are still qualifying to complete their qualification in September, right? So congratulations to all of them. But what's next, right? It's not just yourself. It's not just the leaders who are early in this. We want to make sure that everyone else, right? Quoting Willing Graham, everyone should have this really powerful business tool with them, right? And because of that, we have a next phase BR creator or a qualified access qualification that has already started, right? I'm sure you have seen this, right? If you're not aware of this yet, please refer back, to the communications and the assets and documents your markets have released. This is running all the way to the end of the year, to December. And we're keeping it really simple as well. Well, your team members who may not get the limited edition, don't worry, they will still be able to get a regular black device. And for velocity markets, which is most markets in Southeast Asia, straightforward, create a new G1, mentor someone, help them maintain their first full month. In our sales performance plan markets in the Pacific and Philippines, develop a new G1 Star BR and help them maintain in their second month. And you're on your way, right? And this is going to be a device that you'll be able to get an allotment to purchase sometime in the first quarter of next year, right? And with that, it brings us to the end of the business segment. I really want to encourage everyone, all right, to make full use of this first mover, right? This is exclusive only for brand representatives right now. So please, if you understood how huge this opportunity is, through Graham, through Willing, and through Dr. Joe, make sure that you sit down and take a look at where you stand, where your entire organization stands when it comes to qualifying for a Prysm device yourself, right? It's been a pleasure, Graham, Willing. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'll pass it back on to Fiona.
Thank you so much, Adrian. Thank you, everyone, and special thanks to our leaders for your powerful sharing, and it is very insightful. So to wrap up for today's meeting, I would like to quickly share a few points that, Nu Skin as a leading company in beauty and wellness industry, we have more than 20 years of experience in antioxidant science, and we pioneer carotenoid measurement with our first biophotonic scanner. And now Prysm IO marks a revolution in nutritional health. Because with just 15 seconds, a finger scan, Prysm IO can tell us our skin carotenoid levels, which is an indication of our antioxidant status to reflect our nutritional health. So what's more, Nu Skin not just provide you with the Prysm IO, but we also provide you with a solution, right? So we want people to improve their nutritional status through our SCS products after knowing their score. And to our sales leaders, Prysm IO is really a leading charge in beauty and wellness innovation by offering you with groundbreaking platforms that not just transform life, but also fuels the growth of your business. So Prysm IO is really a powerful business tool to all of you here to support your business growth. So how? We use Prysm IO to engage new customers and guide them to improve their nutritional health with Pharmanic supplements. That's our SCS products through our subscription programs for continuous and long-term benefits, right? Not to also forget that we have our Scan the World movement running right now. We want to be a force for good throughout the world by empowering people to improve life. Through this movement, we'd like to work hand in hand with you, our sales leaders, to really go out and scare more people and help everyone to improve life with Prysm IO and Nu Skin products. So, are you ready to ride on this wave of Prysm IO to create more opportunities for yourself and people surrounding you? Let me know if you are ready by typing 111 in the chat. Let me see, leaders. Are you ready to ride on this wave of Prysm IO? Yes, that's very great. I'm excited to see our leaders are ready with Prysm opportunities. Thank you so much, leaders. Let's go to scan the world and qualify yourself with a Prysm IO right now. So without further ado, I would like to say thank you once again to everyone for spending 1 hour with us for today's digital product opportunity meeting. For leaders who send in the questions to us, if we are not able to answer you the questions through the chat just now, we'll reach out separately to you to answer them. Stay tuned for our next meeting as we'll continue to bring you more insightful sharing with our speakers on Prysm IO in the coming months. So have a great day ahead. Thank you and see you everyone. Bye-bye.